The case of the prosecutor versus Ali Muhammad Ali Abd-Al-Rahman opened on 5th April 2022 before Trial Chamber 1 of the International Criminal Court in The Hague, the Netherlands. Over the course of 12 months, the Trial Chamber 1 comprised of presiding Judge Joanna Connor, Judge Renee Alapinyi Gansu, and Judge Althea Violet Alexis Windsor, heard from 54 witnesses of the prosecution. In addition, the prosecution facilitated the appearance of 2 witnesses called to testify by the trial chamber. In total, 56 witnesses gave evidence during the prosecution case. Mr. Abd-Al-Rahman, the alleged leader of the Janjaweed militia, is accused of 31 counts of war crimes and crimes against humanity allegedly committed in Darfur, Sudan, between August 2003 and at least April 2004. These crimes include directing attacks against a civilian population, murders, pillaging, rape, persecution, torture, cruel treatment, and other inhumane acts. At the beginning of the trial, Mr. Abd-Al-Rahman was given a chance to say how he feels about the charges.
Mr. Al-Rahman, do you understand the nature of the charges which have been read to you today?
I do.
Do you wish to plead guilty to any or all of the counts?
Not a single one. I reject all of these charges. I am innocent of all of these charges. I am not accused of any of these charges.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Al-Rahman. You can sit down again.
The ICC prosecutor, in his opening statement, said that they have a strong case.
Witness after witness saw him, heard him, recognized him. Witness after witness knew Mr. Abd-Al-Rahman from before. This is, the prosecution say, a strong case. But we are confident that when you have heard all the evidence and assessed the submissions and questions from the defense, you will be satisfied so that you're sure that you'll be able to convict Mr. Abd-Al-Rahman. I'm very cognizant, Madam President, Your Honours, that here we are in our robes, thousands of miles away from Darfur, with wonderful technology in front of us, in a new court building. And this seems very alien. This seems very far removed, and it is, in truth, very far removed, in every sense of the word, from the reality that many Darfuri victims, survivors, are living in today, either in refugee camps in Chad, or internally displaced people in Sudan, or the diaspora trying to assimilate as best they can as foreigners fleeing in their life from different countries. But at the same time, with your leave, Madam President, I wish to emphasize that they're not forgotten. I think they are very much in our collective mind's eye today. And I'm confident that they will be heard and they will be listened to by your honours. And your honours will see what took place through their eyes and objectively. And after hearing all the evidence, in my respectful submission, there will be only one outcome.
In addition, OTP senior trial lawyer Julian Nichols and his team echoed the prosecutor's remarks by stating that,
"Let me now turn to the accused. The man sitting there, Mr. Abd-Al-Rahman, is Ali Kushayb. He is the Janjaweed leader in West Darfur, in Wadi Salah and Mukjar localities, who is widely known by his nickname, Ali Kushayb, throughout 2003 and 4, and as well before and after that period. He now denies that his name is Ali Kushayb. He disputes that Ali Kushayb even existed, but there's no mistake. The evidence will show that it is Ali Kushayb in the courtroom, finally facing trial."
overall, the Office of the Prosecutor called 54 witnesses and facilitated the appearance of 2 witnesses called by the judges to testify about the context of the conflict in Sudan at the relevant period, the forces that were involved, suffering of the civilian population, execution sites and executions involving community leaders, rapes of girls and women, the condition in detention facilities, as well as alleged involvement of the accused in these crimes and his position of authority and influence. Most witnesses testified with protective measures or facial and voice distortion to protect their identity. The prosecutor's office also submitted other evidence to the judges, including documents, photos, and videos. There are 600 victims participating in this case. They are represented in the courtroom by their common legal representative, Natalie von Wistenhausen, and her associate counsel, Anand Shah, who questioned some of the prosecution witnesses during the course of this trial. In the beginning of the trial, Ms. Natalie von Wistenhausen stressed that this case is just a glimpse of what had happened in Darfur.
Your Honours have made a preliminary determination that 142 of our clients, men, women, as well as children at the time of the events, have suffered harm as a result of the alleged crimes that took place in 2003 and 2004 around the towns of Kundum, Mindisi, Mokjar, Delej in West Darfur State. If Your Honours have recognized a victim as such, even on a preliminary basis, it already serves as some acknowledgement of what that person has suffered as a result of the charged crimes. The harm is physical, through the effects of torture or sexual violence, for example, psychological, to the mental impact of the crime on the victim, or having witnessed crimes committed against family or members of the community. And the harm is material, through destruction, loss, or theft of property, or having to flee one's home. The 142 individuals who have thus far been admitted to participate as victims in these proceedings are by no measure all of the persons who have suffered grievous harm from the commission of crimes in Darfur over the last 2 decades, or even during the attacks on the villages of Kudum, Bindisi, Mokjar, and Delej, which are the subject of this case. The total number of Darfuris impacted by crimes within this court's jurisdiction is likely greater than 1 million. The number of potential victims of the attacks charged in this case, particularly when considering the crime of forcible transfer, are likely in the thousands.
Mr. Abd-Al-Rahman is represented by lead defense counsel, Dr. Cyril Lauchi, and associate counsel, Mr. Ian Edwards. During the course of this trial, the defense team also cross-examined the witnesses called by the Office of the Prosecutor. The presentation of evidence before the ICC judges for the prosecution in this case concluded in February 2023. After the end of the prosecution case, the defense made a request to the judges to acquit Mr. Abd-Al-Rahman on 4 out of 31 charges. The hearings about this request were held at the beginning of April in the courtroom at the ICC.
Your Honour, this is a motion for a judgment of acquittal in respect of 4 out of the 31 counts in the document containing the charges. The counts that we're concerned with today are counts 6, 7, 8, and 9. These are on the screen now. Count 6 is a count of other inhumane acts as a crime against humanity in Bindisi and surrounding areas between 15th and 16th of August under Article 7.1k of the Rome Statute. Count 7, outrages upon personal dignity as a war crime, same place and same dates. And counts 8 and 9 are counts of rape, allegations of rape, same dates and same place. Count 8 is rape as a crime against humanity, and count 9 as a war crime.
On 19th April 2023, Trial Chamber 1 rejected the defense's request to acquit Mr. Abd-Al-Rahman of the 4 charges and continue the trial with all the 31 charges against the accused.
At this stage, taking the prosecution's evidence at its highest, and again I emphasize the words "at this stage," for the purposes of this submission, the trial chamber is satisfied, first, that the rapes were committed, second, that the physical and psychological abuses took place which could amount to other inhumane acts and outrages upon personal dignity, that Abd-Al-Rahman was in command of the attack on Brindisi and surrounding areas, and that his attendance at the meeting at which Haroon spoke, taken together with his words and actions before and during the attack, are sufficient to show at this stage that he bears individual criminal responsibility for the crimes set out in counts 6 to 9. And accordingly, we decline to enter a judgment of acquittal on any of the impugned counts.
The trial in the case of the prosecutor versus Ali Muhammad Ali Abd-Al-Rahman will resume with the legal representative of victims opening statements. This will be followed by testimonies of participating victims who will present their views and concerns to the judges. Ms. von Wistenhausen, the legal representative of victims, will address the judges on how the alleged crimes in this case have impacted the participating victims and for our community, what their lives are like today, and what are their expectations and hopes for this trial. After the legal representative of victims has concluded presenting her case, the trial will resume with the presentation of the defense case. The accused persons at the ICC are presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Mr. Abd-Al-Rahman has a defense team that can conduct their own investigations, present evidence to the judges, call witnesses, and generally represents the interest of the accused. During the defense case, the prosecutor and the victim's lawyers can also challenge the defense's evidence. This means that they can, for example, ask questions to the defense witnesses. After the defense case, the judges will take a decision on guilt or innocence of Mr. Abd-Al-Rahman.